Struggling single dad saves billionaire from plane crash next morning. She reveals a shocking secret: Ethan Walker never had it easy after his wife passed away. The former mechanic turned single father worked odd jobs just to keep food on the table for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. His dream of building a stable life for her felt like it was slipping further away each day. One stormy night, Ethan boarded a small regional flight to attend a job interview in another city. Lily stayed with his neighbor, clutching the stuffed bear he had fixed for her countless times. Halfway through the flight, lightning struck the plane. Panic erupted as oxygen masks dropped, and the aircraft jolted violently. Amid the chaos, Ethan noticed a woman trapped beneath fallen luggage. He rushed forward, shielding her from debris and pulling her free as smoke filled the cabin. The plane crash landed in a remote field. Ethan acted without hesitation, guiding terrified passengers to safety, breaking open an emergency door and carrying the injured woman out in his arms. By dawn, rescue crews arrived to find everyone alive, thanks largely to Ethan's bravery. The woman he saved turned out to be Isabella Harrington, one of the most powerful billionaires in the country, known for her ruthless business empire. She spent the night quietly observing Ethan's care for strangers, his selflessness, and the way he whispered comfort to his daughter on the phone when rescuers finally gave him a signal. The next morning, as the media swarmed the survivors, Isabella asked Ethan to step aside with her. Her eyes, usually cold and calculating in boardrooms, softened. "You don't know me," she said, "but last night you reminded me of someone I lost long ago. My brother died in a crash years ago. I promised myself that if I ever met a man like him, again selfless, brave, and kind, I wouldn't let the moment pass." Ethan shifted uncomfortably, unsure what she meant. Then Isabella revealed the shocking secret. She wasn't just going to thank him, she wanted to change his life. "I own Harrington Industries," she continued. "I've been searching for someone with integrity to run my foundation. You're that person. And more than that, I want to help you and your daughter. Not as charity, but because I believe people like you deserve a chance." Tears welled in Ethan's eyes. He had boarded that plane with nothing but desperation and hope for a job interview. He walked away with a new future, not only for himself, but for Lily too. That day, the world reported on the billionaire saved from a crash. But the real story was about a single dad whose courage and love turned tragedy into a miracle. Ethan Walker stared at the departure screen with tired eyes. His clothes were a little worn, his wallet nearly empty, but his resolve was steady. He kissed his daughter Lily's forehead before leaving her with their kind old neighbor. "Be good, Peanut. Daddy's gotta go try and get us a better life," he whispered. "Come back safe," Lily said, hugging her stuffed bear tight. Ethan promised he would. The regional plane wasn't full just business travelers, a handful of families, and a woman in a crisp suit sitting alone in first class. Ethan took his seat in coach, exhaustion threatening to pull him under. But an hour into the flight, the skies grew black. Turbulence rattled the cabin, then came the deafening crack of lightning. Oxygen masks dropped. People screamed, "Brace, brace." The pilot shouted over the intercom. The plane lurched violently, tossing luggage into the aisle. Ethan unbuckled, grabbing a crying child and securing her mask. That's when he saw Hertha woman in the front, pinned beneath a fallen case, coughing from smoke. He rushed forward. "Ma'am, hold still. I can't move," she gasped. Ethan braced himself against the seats, shoved the luggage aside, and pulled her up. The aircraft screeched as it slammed into the ground, sliding across a muddy field. When it stopped, chaos erupted. Smoke, fire, and panic. Passengers stumbled out, but some were too hurt to move. Ethan took charge. "This way. Follow me." He pried open an emergency exit, lifted the woman over his shoulder, and carried her through the mud. Twice he went back inside, once to drag out a man with a broken leg, once more to find a terrified teenager hiding beneath a seat. When the rescuers arrived hours later, they found Ethan covered in soot, cradling the suited woman he'd saved, murmuring, "You're safe now." At the hospital, survivors were treated. Reporters clamored outside, demanding to know who had saved so many lives. Ethan tried to slip away quietly. He had no interest in fame, only in getting home to Lily. But the woman insisted on seeing him. She approached his bed the next morning, dressed simply now, no longer the untouchable executive. "You don't even know who I am, do you?" she asked softly. Ethan shook his head. "Doesn't matter. I just did what anyone should have done." Her lips curved in the faintest smile. "Not everyone would have gone back into that burning cabin 3 times. My name is Isabella Harrington." Ethan blinked. "The Harrington? As in Harrington Industries? The same?" She sat down, eyes studying him. "You saved me. You saved all of us. And I owe you more than a thank you." Ethan frowned. "I don't want money, if that's what this is." "That's not what this is," Isabella said firmly. Her voice softened. "I lost my brother in a plane crash 10 years ago. No one was there to help him. Watching you last night, it was like seeing the man he could have become. I promised myself if I ever found someone with that kind of courage, I wouldn't let the moment pass." She leaned forward, her gaze unwavering. "I have a foundation meant to rebuild lives, but it's always been run by businessmen chasing numbers. I need someone real, someone like you. I want you to run it with me. And more than that, Ty, want to make sure your daughter never has to struggle the way you did." Ethan's throat tightened. He thought of Lily, of her bright eyes, and the way she had whispered, "Come back safe." "You don't even know me," he managed. "I know enough," Isabella said. "I know you risked your life for strangers. That tells me more about you than any resume ever could." That morning, the world hailed Isabella Harrington as the billionaire survivor. But behind closed doors, she offered Ethan something far greater than wealth, a chance to give his daughter the future she deserved. Ethan looked out the window, the sun rising over the hospital parking lot, and finally allowed himself to believe it. For the first time in years, hope felt real, and it had all started with a storm, a crash, and a single dad's unshakable will to protect others.